Well, hello everybody again. Welcome back into the Color Gemstone Academy. I am your instructor, Paul Deasy, and this is my YouTube channel, Paul Deasy Gemstones. Well, we are still at our temporary world headquarters here in Naples, Florida, as we're waiting for our home to be completed. We're closing in on 3,100 subscribers, so I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribe to this channel, and if you have not done so yet, please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It's completely free for you to learn all about gemstones here. A couple of changes I wanted to talk about because we're still traveling around and sometimes it's difficult for me to get some of the lessons in, but I think in the new year I'm going to have a couple of exciting changes I'm going to make. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But this is our Q&A series, episode 32. This is where I get to answer questions and comments that come from all of you, and you are sort of my fuel to see what lessons we're going to do. So without further ado, we will start with, and by the way, when I'm looking down, I'm looking at on my computer the questions that you're writing in. So Cindy Rowe, and this is from watching Q&A episode 31 from last week, says, I've learned so much from you. Thank you for all you do. Keep up the good work. Well, Cindy, it is a pleasure, and as long as you enjoy learning about various and sundry gemstones, I'm going to be here for you. So thank you for that comment. Next one comes from Ken Lasky, and this episode he was watching was episode 40, which is turquoise, real, simulants, fakes, and wannabes. That was one of my more watched lessons. And Ken says, thank you so much for the lesson. I'm a turquoise lover in the Northeast where it is difficult to find real turquoise. Well, thank you for watching, Ken. Yours is a great comment. And I want to talk in a little bit more detail about this because a lot of people are asking me whether it's rough or whether it's finished polished gemstones or whether it's jewelry, you know, where can I go to get some rough, or where can I go to get some turquoise because I live in the Northeast. So I'm really getting a lot of those comments. So I want to make it easier for all of you to get things like turquoise no matter where you live. And there's always various and sundry gem shows, like the Tucson Gem Show, which is coming up again in the usually late January to March timeframe. But what I'm going to do, and I started reaching out to some of my sources, and maybe I'm hoping by the first of the new year, I might be able to put you in touch with, because you know the internet makes it easier too. A lot of my contacts who supplied me in the shopping channels also have their own websites where they can sell directly to consumers. So I'm going to reach out to them, and maybe we can set up something where you can contact them directly for turquoise, maybe get a discount code. That's what I'm going to try and negotiate with them. So stay tuned, and I'm going to I'll let you know when I have something new to announce on that front. Great question though. We have Ernesto Romero, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, and he was watching episode 75, which was the most recent lesson on the Guatemalan jade, episode 75. It says, can you please make a video on Amazonite and if it is toxic and radioactive? Is it safe to wear? Thank you. All right, thank you for that question, Ernesto. This is a great question. It's something that I don't cover very often, but since you asked, it's a great question. Number one, I don't think I've done a lesson on Amazonite yet, so I'm overdue to do that. So I'll put that in the queue of lessons that I'm going to shoot. But about your specific question about toxicity or radioactivity in gemstones, most elements and minerals are no exception, have some measurement of radioactivity. That doesn't necessarily mean it's dangerous. There is a wonderful website. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's classicgems.net. I'm pretty sure that's it, classicgems.net. And if you look up radioactive gems within their website, they have a whole laundry list of all these gems and what the radioactive count they might have. And they have a scale, like basically they'll say it is very strong radioactivity, strong, weak, mild, or barely detectable. And you will see which gems fall into those categories. For the one that you mentioned, which is the Amazonite, it is barely perceptible. So it's completely safe. Now, my caveat to all of this is, even though there's going to be radioactivity in certain minerals, it doesn't mean that they're dangerous. And this one has a very low level of it anyway, barely perceptible. So there's other people that really like gemstones and what they represent, and sometimes even I know that we got a carafe one time at some auction that had an amethyst that you could put water in, and the amethyst was in its own glass ball, but interacting with the water. So if you have something that's highly radioactive, which this is not, you wouldn't want to consume it, but handling it and wearing it as jewelry is going to be fine for just pretty much most of the gems that you're familiar with. But a great question nonetheless. You do not have to worry about Amazonite or any special precautions to wear it, even to wear it every day. Great question from Ernesto. Okay. This one comes from Urban Scout, relatively new subscriber. And this is from last week's episode, Q&A, episode 31. And to give you a little background, and thanks for the laughter, Urban. I haven't told everyone what you said yet. I went through this thing where somebody was really unhappy with my channel, and they prefaced their criticism with, well, with all due respect. And I said, well, with all due respect, when somebody starts off without, usually it's really, really bad news. And so if you watched it last week, that's what I did. So Urban Scout says, unless it's, with all due respect, your wife is gorgeous. And you're 100% correct. My wife is gorgeous, and thank you very much. He said, thank you, Judy, for another informative video, and thank you for the laugh, Urban Scout. I really did appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet this week. I'm going to get on to my lessons for the next gem lesson, and then some more Q&As for all of you. I'm trying to keep up with you as best as I can. But also, the reason I tell you, like Ken Lasky at the beginning of this episode, and I said that he was watching episode 40, which was about turquoise. Even if you're a new subscriber to my channel, you can go back to the very beginning and from episode 1 and beyond, because they live there forever. So if you want to brush up on how to be a good gemologist, if you want to brush up on the 4 C's, cut, color, clarity, carat weight, those are going to be there for you. You don't have to wait necessarily for a new lesson to come out to review some of the old ones or watch the old ones for the first time. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you once again for all of you and your loyalty to this channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'll see you all next week with a new gem lesson on the Colored Gemstone Academy. Bye-bye, everybody.